This video is brought to you by
Cool Green Clothing. We done gone worldwide, and we coming straight out of Baltimore. And if you in town, pull up on us. We're on the block with it at 215 West Saratoga Street. And if you're not in town, go online right now at coolgreenclothing.com and make your purchase. Oh yeah, and by the way, if you ain't cool and getting the green, you're in the way. And that's just basic.
What's going on, YouTube, fam? It's your boy Tony 2 times, and we back with another episode of the Baltimore Way, man. Before I start, be sure to tap that like button. Definitely watch this video to the end so you can hear the full story and all the details in the case. For my day one fam, y'all already know it's all love. Thanks for tuning back into another episode. If you're new to the channel and you feeling the content, feel free to subscribe. Definitely hit that notification bell so you can be notified every time we drop a new video. Oh yeah, feel free to share the channel with your peoples. Everybody is welcome. With that being said, let's get right into the story. For a lot of people, they are taught early on in life that all you have is family. You have old sayings like blood is thicker than water, meaning no outsider should come between you and your peoples. For most boys and young men, there's no tighter bond than a bond between a son and mother. Mom Dukes is our first introduction to unconditional love. Right or wrong, she will be there to ride for you, tell you it's okay. Even when a mother is mad and discipline you, it comes with love. As a young boy matures into a grown man, for the lucky ones whose mothers are still alive and well, for most, one of their goals is to reciprocate that love back to the person who nurtured you, took care of you, and made sure you were alright out here. So a lot of men make sure to take care of their mothers as she gets older. We all know, just because a person's intentions are good, doesn't mean things will play out like they think it should. One thing about people, family, and even the sweetest mothers and grandmothers, everybody has their own personalities, flaws, things they will deal with, and stuff they won't let slide. A lot of women appreciate their sons or daughters looking out for them, but they won't let them control their lives or take their independence from them. For some, they get frustrated with their parent, and it's hard to tell a person that raised you and told you what to do for years that you now know what's best for them. And when tempers flare and a family feud goes too far, depending on the individual, the outcome could be fatal. And on this episode of the Baltimore Way, we'll be discussing the case of a man who was accused of snapping, taking out his frustrations on his own mother in the most evil way. Back in 2017, 57-year-old Miss Janie McCray was navigating life in Baltimore. Miss Janie had did her part, raising her only child and son, 37-year-old Michael Singleton, and was now relaxing, enjoying life, and spending times with her friends in her neighborhood at the Sinai Ridge Apartments, where everybody knew and loved Miss Janie. Described as outgoing, very outspoken, a woman who spoke her mind and didn't bite her tongue for nobody. For the most part, everybody respected that about the woman. Michael, her son, would often travel all the way from Havre Grace, Harford County, Maryland, where he lived, to check on his mother. The mother and son were very close. Michael would take her to run errands, handle business, or just to hang out and get out the house. But no relationship is perfect, and sometimes Janie and Michael will argue and go back and forth for different reasons. But in October of 2017, things would take a horrible turn. As Janie's sister tried to get in contact with her, she got no answer, and people in the neighborhood hadn't seen the lively woman who was always outside. BPD got a call of a person laying in the grass in the 5400 block of California Avenue on Halloween Day. When they arrived to the scene, the victim, who was a woman, was unresponsive, and it seemed like a hit and run. The woman was pronounced gone at the scene. As police got the identity of the victim, unfortunately, it was Miss Janie, and they were left with the heartbreaking task of notifying Michael, who was clearly distraught his mother had lost her life. He stated he had saw her the day before. They had an argument, and she was in one of her moods. So he claimed he went back home. But she called him later on asking could he take her to buy some grass to smoke. He agreed, took her, and went back home. And that's the last time he stated he saw his mother. Michael called his aunt, Janie's sister, in shambles, saying she is gone, and everybody felt terrible. At a candlelight vigil for the woman, Michael spoke on how much he loved his mother and that he missed her very much, and he couldn't believe someone would run her over and just leave. Police had no suspects, as Miss Janie had no known enemies, but an autopsy would add a twist in the case. It was found out she wasn't just ran over, but also shot in the back, now turning the case to a clear homicide. As police relayed the news to family, they were all in shock, including Michael. But police still had no leads, and months would go by as the case seemed like it would be going cold. Until 6 months later, police got a tip of someone stating y'all should look closer at Michael, Janie's son. Police had the prints from the tire marks at the scene and that was left on the woman. They also did remember the mother and son had a heated argument. Police went back to talk to Michael, this time realizing he had changed his story and multiple facts he stated from the first time. He stated, yes, me and my mother did have a fight and I went home. I calmed down and came back. While at the station, police checked the tires on his car and also found out through sources Michael owned a shotgun, the same weapon used to shoot Janie. And the tire tracks found on his mother matched Michael's tires on his car. Now with new information and piecing events together, police claimed the mother and son did have a heated argument on October 30th, 2017. They didn't know what it was about, but it was also stated the situation got so heated, Michael went home, came back the following day, still mad at his mother. As they drove around, they alleged he pulled her out the car, shot her in the back with the shotgun, ran her over once, then reversed, running her over again. Michael denied the allegations, but it was determined there was enough evidence against the man to charge him. And months after his mother's slaying, he was taken into custody, charged with first-degree hit. The family couldn't believe the news that he would do something like that. Everyone stated they were always together and that the man took good care of his mother. A neighbor who knew Miss Janie spoke out on the situation in disbelief that her son was charged and stating what kind of person the woman was.
She was not one to actually bite her tongue. But, I mean, for the most part, she was basically a peaceful person. Mother, no, that's your right hand. That's your lifeline. That's the pulse. That's like this vein here. If you cut it, it's done. That's your mom.
Doing all my research, I couldn't find whether or not Michael was convicted, found competent to stand trial, or sent to a facility for people with mental health illness. As some stated, he snapped, but it was due to his mental state at the time. But either way, rest in peace to Miss Janie. I send my prayers and condolences to her family. Nobody deserves to go out like that. Shot, ran over, and left on the side of the road. That's terrible and overkill. But I want to leave this one open for discussion. Y'all let me know y'all thoughts on the situation. And do you believe Michael really snapped and took his mother's life like that after the way people stated he cared for her and took care of her? Let me know in the comments. Yeah, man, crazy story. Rest in peace, Miss Janie. I definitely send my prayers to her family. But I ain't gonna talk too much more about this one. Y'all leave it in the comments. I appreciate you if you made it to the end. This another episode of the Baltimore Way. It's your boy Tony 2 times. Love, fam. I'm out. Yo, what's the word, fam? We got a deal for you so you can get your fashion right this summer to get 10% off your purchase at Cool Green Clothing. All you got to do is click the link in the comments. I'm going to pin it right there for you. Add your items for purchase in the cart. Before you complete your order, type in code 2x10TV to get 10% off your purchase. Again, be sure to tap that link because without that, you can't get your discount. And that's code 2TIMESTV10. We appreciate your love and support.